this is part 2. So now that you might have learned, or you might have been practicing on how to find the sweet spot, you know, with the clutch, and you've been walking your bike for a little while, and or just letting it roll and staying in first gear, now I bet you like, okay, now what do I do? All right, let's stop here real quick. Remember, pushing that clutch, front and back brake. Now you still in gear 1. All right, so let's start off. We're in first gear, and we're gonna ease off the clutch a little bit till we feel that roll. Once we feel that roll, we lift our feet on up, and we're gonna let it roll. Maybe you've tried to give it a little gas. Let me just get over here. All right, so we've been rolling for a second in first gear, and what you're gonna do to give it some gas, I mean to go into second gear, you're gonna shift up. I already did it, but let's just try it again. You know what, we'll try it once we get off this street here. Alright, we rolling, we in first gear. Watch out for the school buses. So we're in first gear, we rolling. So now what we gonna do, when we go ahead and shift into second, we're going to, it's all in kind of like one motion. You definitely want to hold that clutch in, and you're going to release the throttle like this. But at the same time, let me get past this car. At the same time, you're pulling up one level, really kind of two. But you don't, you know, it's going to be all in one motion. With your foot, you're going to go up with your foot, releasing the throttle by letting it, you know, not letting it go with your hand, but letting it go like this. And then all the while having the clutch, I mean holding into the clutch. So it's going to be a quick motion all at the same time, like this. See that? Now if you got a powerful bike, it's going to pull you a little bit, because now when you start again, I mean bring that throttle back, what's going to happen is, you know, you're going to be giving it gas. So let's try it one more time. Let me go back into first gear. So we cruising, we're in first gear, giving it some gas. Are you ready to switch? Clutch, let that throttle go, and switch with your foot. So it kind of, with your hands, it kind of look like this. See what I'm saying? It's like making a fist, rolling your wrist. Make a fist, roll your wrist, time to shift. That's how we gonna say. Make a fist, roll your wrist, time to shift. Like this. No cars behind me. So you might be cruising, right? You're gonna let it off while you hold that clutch. Let it off and shift up with your foot. So it's make a fist, roll your wrist, time to shift. Clunk, clunk, clunk. See what I'm saying? So that's what we gonna do. Alright, I'm in first gear. We rolling, we rolling, we rolling. Make a fist. Do it slow. Make a fist, roll your wrist, time to shift. Boom, boom, and up. And now we're in second. But of course you do it a lot faster than that. See that? That was me going into third, but we're just going into second, and it's the same exact way going up each gear. The same exact way going into, you know, downshifting, a little different, But I've seen many people, you know, do a different thing. I've seen people sometimes blip the throttle downshifting. I'll tell y'all about blipping the throttle later on. And then I've also seen where people just come to a complete stop and then just drop the shift all the way into the gear and down to first. But really, man, it's all about how you feel comfortable to ride. Now, I'm gonna tell you, we never got into third gear at all on the MSF course. The most gear we got into was second gear. And that was, you know, we had a couple of drills that they wanted you to do. And that was go fast, go a little faster up to about 20 miles an hour. Or 15, 20 miles an hour, shift into second, you know, and then go through a cone and things like that. I must tell you though, in order to pass the MSF course, it was really handling the bike at a slow speed. That's what they really, you know, wanted to see if you can do. Now, if you drop that bike, especially after the course and they do the testing, and you drop that bike, you failed the course. There was one guy who passed the whole test. They let you, you know, he did the figure eight, you know, the figure eight. He did the little snake drill. He did the making a U-turn drill. He did all that drill perfect. And then when it was time to park and stop, he said you passed, you know, it was time to park and stop and tell him that he passed. What he did was he got to the spot and forgot to put his kickstand down. Dropped the bike, end up failing. Yep, did everything perfect from doing the swerve. It's one drill where you got to get up fast enough and you got to swerve like that in a cone. You got to go here and you got to swerve through the cone. And what happened was he did all of that perfect. Everything he did perfect, and ended up shifted good and everything. I must say, I messed up once. I didn't swerve hard enough on one, but it was during the drill. It wasn't during the actual, you know, test. So, you know, what they do is they do a bunch of lessons, and on the second day at the end, that's when they give you a little test. That's what they do. So power band, baby. But anyways, y'all, that concludes, you know, part 2 or whatever part this might be on shifting gears. And y'all stay tuned for the next part. There's a few other things that, you know, we can't go over, so you guys can get y'all motorcycle endorsement. Now, mind you, I'm not showing you or teaching you how to ride. I'm really kind of teaching you how to pass the MSF course. That's really what I'm trying to do. Everything else gonna come on your own practice and everything. Real talk, because I see many different people. I mean, ways how people ride. Like, for example, some people might rev their bike all the way out before they shift the gear, and I don't do that. I just listen to my bike. When she starts to scream at me a little bit, I shift. That's what I do. So the most I've probably been up to is like maybe anywhere between 10 and 12,000, you know, RPM. don't think it hurts the bike or anything like that. I actually, in my opinion, it might help the bike by not revving it on out every time to shift. But hey, I don't know, man. Some bikes like being ridden hard. I know some sports bikes, you know, they don't like to go slow. I do know that. Like my girl like to be ridden kind of hard a little bit. Seems like that's when she really kind of behaves. Real talk, when I'm like really going faster, if I'm up in the high, you know, like in the high RPM, she seems like she shifts smoother. So I can't really say that my way is the right way, but I can say that it works for me, and you'll figure that out. But what I'm trying to do is just get you that license. On how they did it in Florida. I don't know how they do it anywhere else. So, but anyways, y'all, I'ma holla back. Stay tuned for the next part, and y'all be easy. Hey, also remember this: you're never too old to start over and dream again. Y'all be easy. Peace.